Hey, this is Morty back with another video. Today I wanted to give some updates, new patches out for the beta, a lot of interesting things there. Go to the Discord and check it out. I really like one of the warrior AAs, and I'm indifferent about the other one. So one is an additional 1% of your total hit points as regen per tick, which is really good. And it'll get pretty good early. You know, like once you even hit like 1,000 hit points, you'll really start to see a benefit there. And then it also is really good with some of the other defensive AAs where you get more hit points. More reduction is good because you're taking less damage, and still TBD on whether or not it's going to work with the stance that increases your regen as well. So that's kind of cool. The other one that I'm a little bit indifferent on is the Warrior AA that makes you do 10, 20, and 30% more damage with crits. That's kind of like a win more type thing. You really have to have a certain amount of crits for that to be beneficial, and when you don't crit, it just there's no benefit to it. So it's kind of a later game type thing. Maybe they'll have some more AAs that other classes have that will increase your hit rate or crit rate as well. So it might take, a certain combo to make it most effective. So there's those things that are interesting for the patch notes. I'd say go check it out. The sky stuff is really interesting as well. I just don't want to go over all of that stuff right now. Um, I'm playing on Project Quorum right now, just running around while I have this, have you guys' attention so that I can talk about something else that I've been doing. Um, I also created this stances spreadsheet, and it tells all the current stances in the game and what classes have how many of them. Stances are like pretty amazing for flexibility. So um, right now, the top classes with stances are Paladin, Ranger, Shadow Knight with 9. Beast Lord comes in second, I guess, because those three are tied for first. Beast Lord has 8, and then Bard, Berserker, Wizard with 7, and at the bottom, Warrior with 5. But they, like I said, they just gave Warrior some good AAs. I was thinking about it, and I don't necessarily want there to be more stances because it just becomes too much at a certain point. So I think the AA part given to warriors to increase their durability a little bit is the right way to go with that. Um, I'd like to see some more damage for the warrior. That 10, 20, 30% additional crit damage, is kind of in line with that. But like I said earlier, you just really have to be critting to have benefit from that. Um, so here, if you want to pause it and take a look at my spreadsheet, you can. Um, I don't think I'm going to share this. I don't know how useful it is to people, but for me, it's a way for me to say, hey, like I want my paladin to be able to um, use, I don't know, his defensive stance and or actually, let's see what Paladin has here for incarnations. Oh, he has Divine, right? I think, yeah. So Divine might be some place that I go with a Paladin, and then I go a little bit harder on some caster or pure melee stuff. Like if I wanted to use Berserker, Paladin, and I don't know, say like Necro or something. Maybe not Necro is a good example because I want to use Divine, right? So just something that's expensive, that you're gonna get a heal off of. So, oh, you could do Wizard and do some AoEs like PB AoEs and AoEs that hurt you. Well, it doesn't hurt as much if you're getting healed every time you cast, right? So there's just some funky things that I was thinking about with stances. Um, the one thing that I also wanted to talk about in this video is a warning for people following the EQ Legends wiki for class unlocks. Please, please, please don't rush or sorry, not class unlocks, race unlocks. Please, please, please don't rush your race unlocks. There are a couple there that can really mess up some things that you might want to do later in the game. And there's plenty of time to level up in Blackburrow, and that's going to help you um, get a lot of faction for Kinos guards. And the other thing that I wanted to warn people about is like, don't sell everything. There's a lot of uh, quest items out there that you see streamers now that are just running through um, Blackburrow because they're in like full planar gear and they're just selling everything. Well, there's stuff in there that you probably want to pick up and maybe even turn in for faction and or items. There's a lot of quests in there that can, save you some time instead of having to run back to the Hollis quest guy a fourth time to do the lion meat quest. Maybe you only need to do 2 or 3 times. So just keep that in mind. Like I know a lot of people are probably going to start leveling a druid or a wizard, and why not do it in a place where you're getting faction that's positive? So do it in Blackburrow, um, do it in Warrens. Both of those will be very helpful for you to get faction for a bunch of different races. And while you're doing that, make sure you're swapping to other classes as well. So, like, say you want to take a break from leveling in Blackburrow or the Warrens, you could swap to a rogue and go to Befallen and get some of those early sneak hide trainings up and get some lock picking up so that you don't have to just sit there all day and click the button to work on your lock picking later. Stuff like that, like take advantage of the spot that you're in the game so that you don't have to come back and just spend a whole bunch of time doing it later. Um, while leveling in those zones, you might have a hard time having no gear at all straight off the bat. One way to get around that early on is whatever your first 2 classes you choose, go to the tutorial, do the quest for the boots, and get at least 3 of them I can't recall if they're lore equipped or not. If they're not, put one on and the other two um, in your any slots, and that will be more AC and more hit points right out of the gate. And then switch to mage real quick before you get out of the tutorial and summon a couple level 1 daggers. They're 321 for their damage delay ratio, and that's going to be a little bit better than a lot of the stuff that you're getting early on. Cracked staff is still going to be better, but it's also worth money. So it's up to you how you want to deal with that early on. Um, let's see what else. What I'm gonna do, how I'm starting is I'm going ogre, I'm going wizard and druid. So I'm gonna have direct damage, heals, thorns, and melee. And I'll swap out of druid probably around like 23 or 26. And then I'm kind of debating whether or not to keep wizard my whole first playthrough, but I'll probably go um, cleric and then go back through Blackborough again. So day one's gonna kind of be a lot of running through and doing the same stuff over and over again. One of the other things too that like if you're having a hard time in a respawning dungeon, just change it to non-respawning. That way, when you're running through and you might have like a longer fight against a yellow or something like that, and if you have like two or three of them, then you don't have to worry about the respawns popping back up and aggroing you. It might be easier to do a non-respawning and get to the named at those low levels because you might not have enough tools to CC, damage, sneak, hide, invis, whatever, to get straight to the name and just skip between them. Might be too hard for that early on. So just turn respawning off and play that way. So that's all I really got today. I know it's a lot of information, but I got some more testing that I'm going to do once the pre-order beta opens up, and I will see you guys then. Oh, and a little extra here at the end for those of you that stayed. I made it into the creator program, so that's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to start streaming again once the full game releases, and probably do a couple videos a week. So pretty excited. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.